Are you a Boston Celtics fan? Then, get ready for what's coming. The trade season is approaching, and while everyone is expecting a big move, the reality may be very different from what you imagine. The team is quiet, rumors are scarce, and the fans' great expectations seem to be falling flat. But the big question everyone is asking is, could the future of the team be decided by a single, seemingly insignificant move? Get ready to understand the details of a trade that could change everything. Or perhaps, reveal that the Celtics' title hopes may come at a much higher price than you think. Stay tuned until the end, because here, you'll uncover what's behind this real bombshell. If you thought the Boston Celtics were planning a big market move, something worthy of a blockbuster trade to shake up the NBA landscape, you might want to think twice. The reality behind this apparent calm is even more complex. And the truth is, the team might be too comfortable. Yes, you read that right. Comfortable. The Celtics have a solid team built to compete for the title, but this stability comes with a massive burden. With all eyes on the market giants, the franchise seems to have shut itself in a bubble, where the need for drastic changes is no longer a priority. However, this is where the twist begins. What many don't know is that, behind this apparent tranquility, the financial situation of the franchise is a real nightmare. The Celtics are literally stuck above the salary cap, meaning any move to strengthen the team will be meticulously calculated, with much less flexibility than people imagine. Do you think Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, or even Derek White could be traded? Forget it! These pillars of the team, crucial to the Celtics' success, are off the table, at least for now. And here comes the real pain for the fans. The possibilities for shaking up the team are extremely limited. The only piece that could be traded without causing major damage would be Jaden Springer. But, attention! This move, while strategic to relieve salary cap pressure, doesn't have the impact fans are really hoping for. No big promises or star names are on the move. And here's where the true pain for the fans comes in. After so many years of success, the Celtics find themselves in a dilemma of positions and financial limitations that might force the team to settle with what they already have, without the flexibility to make a truly impactful trade. So, will trading Springer be enough to maintain fans' trust and excitement? Or will it just be a move to balance the books, with little impact on the court? The truth is, in the current scenario, the big market shakeup seems distant, and the team is stuck in a financial chess game where big changes are nearly impossible. Trading Jaden Springer might seem like a simple, even underwhelming move to many Boston Celtics fans. But don't be fooled by the apparent insignificance of this transaction. While Springer's name doesn't spark much excitement among fans, he holds strategic value that could have a significant impact on the franchise's finances. To understand what's really at stake, you need to look beyond the stats and traditional expectations. Springer, a young talent with a $4 million salary, represents more than just a bench piece or a future project. His trade could be the key to relieving the salary cap pressure that is about to breach the limits of tolerance. What many don't know is that trading Springer could mean saving up to $16 million for the Celtics. And in a season where the franchise is financially out of control, this amount could be crucial for maintaining long-term competitiveness. The reality is that, being above the salary cap, Boston doesn't have much room to maneuver without sacrificing financial flexibility. So, trading Springer, while it might seem like a minor deal, could be a smart move to give the team some breathing room, especially considering that the team is in a complicated position with a luxury tax. But the big question is this move worth it, or will it just be an empty move with no significant consequences in the near future? On one hand, saving $16 million is undoubtedly an important advantage, especially for keeping the team structure intact and having more freedom in the upcoming seasons. However, on the other hand, by losing Springer, the Celtics are giving up on a young prospect who could eventually become a useful piece for the roster. The question that remains is whether this savings now will pay off in the long run, or if, in the end, trading Springer will just be another salon game that won't bring significant results in the title chase. In my view, this trade of Springer, although it seems small, is a necessary move for the Celtics. With a tight salary cap, every move counts. Saving $16 million is not something to ignore, especially for a franchise that aims to keep its core competitive in the future. As much as Springer has potential, the team's financial reality demands that tough decisions be made. However, the risk is not knowing if this savings will bring tangible results in the coming years. If the Celtics can use this saved amount to reinforce the team in other areas, then this trade could be seen as a success. Otherwise, the trade of Springer will just be another piece displaced, with no major repercussions in the larger plan. Trading Jaden Springer, although strategic to alleviate the salary cap, raises a crucial question. Is this what Boston Celtics fans really expect? After the excitement generated by acquisitions like Xavier Tillman, the expectation for more impactful moves is high. However, the franchise's financial reality limits the available options. The team is above the salary cap, restricting flexibility for big trades. As a result, trading Springer emerges as the primary viable option to ease the financial pressure. This situation reflects a common dilemma for teams with high budgets, balancing fan expectations for significant reinforcements with the limitations imposed by league salary rules. Speculations about possible trades to strengthen the roster include names like Kyle Kuzma from the Washington Wizards and Dorian Finney-Smith from the Brooklyn Nets. However, these negotiations are complicated due to financial restrictions and the contractual demands of these players. For example, Kuzma has contract bonuses that could complicate his trade to teams near the salary cap limit. Moreover, Finney-Smith, known for his defensive skills and three-point shooting, has a contract expiring at the end of the season, which may influence the Celtics' decision to acquire him. These complexities make negotiations more challenging and increase fan frustration, as they are hoping for more impactful reinforcements. The reality is that, despite the speculations and fan expectations, the Celtics are limited in their options for market moves. Trading Jaden Springer, while it may be seen as a temporary measure, is the only viable move to relieve financial pressure without compromising the team's structure. This situation highlights the difficulty of balancing the team's ambitions with the restrictions imposed by NBA salary rules. Therefore, although trading Springer might not be the move fans were hoping for, it is a necessary strategy to keep the team competitive in the long term. Now, the truth that few are talking about. The silence surrounding the Boston Celtics is not by accident. The absence of explosive moves could be the result of a carefully planned strategy, a long-term project aimed at financial stability and building a winning team that doesn't rely on temporary solutions or dramatic changes. After all, the Celtics have a solid core, led by Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and the focus should be on ensuring these pillars can remain with the team without overburdening the franchise's budget. The big play now is to manage costs without falling into the traps of the luxury tax, which threatens the team's flexibility and sustainability in the coming years. However, this silence also raises a delicate question. Could the focus on the long term end up harming what has already been built? Imagine the frustration of the fans, who see the team with one of the best rosters in the league, but without the necessary reinforcements to give that last push toward the title. Trading Jaden Springer, although smart for alleviating the financial burden, may be seen as a timid decision. Could this move, seemingly without much impact, create a sense of stagnation? Or will it be a calculated move that will allow the Celtics to make more strategic moves in the future? The key here is team harmony. When you have such a cohesive and competitive roster like the Celtics, any move, no matter how small, can have significant repercussions. Trading Springer, although it doesn't involve big stars, is a step in managing the luxury tax, but it could also affect the group's chemistry. This could create a sense of insecurity among players, especially those who may perceive that the focus is more on financial cuts than on reinforcing the team. What might seem like a strategic change turns into a decision that questions the team's ambition. On the other hand, if the long-term project is well executed, this silence in the market could be the first step toward building a more solid future. Being able to navigate salary restrictions and still maintain competitiveness could make the Celtics a constant powerhouse, without the highs and lows that come with drastic changes in the roster. However, the risks are high. In the long run, a poorly made decision now could compromise all the work done so far, shaking the trust of the team and the fans, and maybe even compromising the long-awaited title. So the big question is the Celtics betting on the future with a long-term vision, or are they setting the stage for widespread frustration, with fans and even players questioning the direction of the franchise? The silence that seems like a strategic choice today could, in the end, be the spark for an internal crisis if things don't go as planned. Will the future be one of growth, or a reflection of a timing mistake that will destroy everything that has been built so far? Only time will tell.